So here is my pattern front, and you see where my pins are, and I'm going to finger press. And what I mean by finger pressing, I'm just pressing down where I pin the darts in place. So now I'm going to take my pins out, and now that I've taken my pins out, because I can see where my darts are, I'm going to make my markings. Now to make my markings, what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay it back flat. I'm going to draw a straight line up the front to let me know where my dart was. And then I'm going to draw a straight line here to let me know where my bust dart was. And these are just the lines if I fold it back up. See, if you fold it back up, that's just the top of that fold. And since I pinched it over and I pressed it down, now I have marks to let me know where I need to transfer these markings. And so that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to do the same thing on both sides. And here you can see the same thing here. There are my lines. And now I transferred the markings. Also, I like to put a big F on here to let me know that this is the front. And also this lets me know that this is the center front. So I'm going to make myself a note to cut to. So I put a note, a marking on there to cut to. And I also want to put my grain line. So the grain line is where you're going to line up the fabric, the pattern on the fabric. So your pattern's not turning this way. It's straight up with the grain line of the fabric. Now when you go to cut your pattern out, what you want to do is you want to extend out your seam allowance all the way around your pattern. So I would extend a 5/8 seam allowance all the way around my pattern. Here is the back, and I've done the same thing for the back that I have done for the front. I pinned it and I finger pressed it. So I'm going to remove the pins, and I'm going to spread it out. Take my Sharpie, draw a straight line, which will let me know that's my fold line. And I can see my little marks here where I pressed it. So I'm going to do my little dotted lines. And the dotted lines mean that's where you're going to stitch it. And there's the back dart. You also notice here, we made the markings here. This is our waistline. So if you want to, you can draw a line straight across here, and you can label that waistline. So you know that that's what that is. Back, we don't want to seam down the back. So I'm going to draw an arrow pointing to the end or the edge of the fabric or the pattern. Then I'm going to draw a line out to both of these, and then I'm going to connect those lines. And I'm going to put on here place on fold. And that lets me know to place this on the fold of the fabric so that when I lay it out, it becomes one piece. And I'm going to put a big letter B to let me know that this is the back. And then I'm going to make myself a note to cut one, because I'm going to place it on the fold and I only need one. You're going to do the same thing on the back piece that you did on the front. You're going to leave yourself seam allowances all the way around. Whatever you want your seam allowance, the standard is 5/8. So you're going to leave 5/8 of the seam allowance all the way around, and that would give you enough to cut to sew your fabric without it being too small. And there you have it. We made a basic pattern out of simple recyclable items. Your daily newspaper. Who would have thought? Happy sewing!